and we are going to be discussing why should you share your motherhood experience with younger women. All right. Of course, this video is meant for someone who has already gone through motherhood experience, or you are currently a mom. So that's who we are going to be focusing this video on. However, if you're watching this video and you're not a mom yet, it's important for you to listen, because by listening to what I'm saying to moms, you are also going to get something, which is what is it that a lot of moms around you are not doing yet. All right. So let's get started. Why should you share your motherhood experience with younger women? Okay. First of all, let me say that for me to be giving this as a topic, as a video topic, the reason is because what is currently happening is that a lot of women, right, we go through motherhood, you know, suffer a lot. Let me say mention that suffer a lot, go through motherhood, you know, and before you know it, okay, they've survived, they keep going. But whenever you ask them, oh, how is it going? All you hear is fine. We are doing well. My child is growing. Everybody's happy. It is it's a bundle of joy. Like it's more like all the good parts, all the sweet parts. Then I also noticed that sometimes you even see women who have gone through motherhood, maybe a young lady listening to them, right? And then as a woman, you're telling the younger lady, like, hey, do get married, give birth to your own kids, you're going to love it, you're going to love it. Right? Okay, I'll give you an example. Before I became a mom, I remember a classmate of mine from dental school once reached out. We're talking. She's a mom. She had like three a 3-year old as of this time, right? And we're talking. She was like, "Oh my God, you need to be a mom. That's all you need right now. The joy is endless. She went on and on. I'm telling you, she went on for like an hour, 30 minutes. All right. An hour, 30 minutes telling me how I should be a mom and how that is the next best thing for my life. Now, let's talk about it. It's not that what she said is wrong, but it's just that she was just giving me one side of the story. In this 1 hour, 30 minutes, almost uninterrupted conversation, right? What would you have taken for her to say, yeah, it's not easy, blah, 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 is what I went through. It was difficult. This was what I went through, but I survived. This is what I went through. And let me also let you know that as of when we were having this conversation, this friend had separated from her husband, had just moved to a new country with her son, and didn't even have help. Was looking for a job, which was why we got on the call in the first place, because they relocated to the country where I was. They relocated to Canada at that point. My point is that there were all these things, right? There were all these things that she was going through. But it's more like once you talked about motherhood, all of that was out of the window, and then all the joy, all the joy. What's the harm of living life this way? Especially, I'm addressing this video to women. What's the harm of not sharing the complete story? The harm of not sharing the complete story is that a lot of women who have not given birth go into motherhood, go into pregnancy, go into giving birth unprepared. Truly, truly unprepared. All you have, as a single lady, all you have heard your friends who are parents talk about is, uh, all the sweet things about having a child. You are literally shielded from all the dark sides of motherhood, right? And you go into motherhood unprepared. You might end up going into motherhood unprepared. So, and this is not helpful. This is not helpful because it's having a lot of young lady, making them enter motherhood unprepared. Is not helpful. All right. Now, why is it that a lot of women will rather not share the dark side of what they are going through? They would rather want to see the good parts, right? The way to think about it is like a lot of women, number one, they can easily feel judged when a lot of women can feel, oh, if I say the things I'm going through now, people are going to judge me, Then another thing again is that a lot of women can feel like when they talk about the dark side of motherhood, that they are being ungrateful, right? So because of that, the woman would rather want to just tell you the good part and move on. But that is not helping. And what am I is like, why is this coming up? A lot of time when, let's say, you see something like a focus group or something that where we're like, hey, come, let's talk about the challenges of motherhood. When women come, they share. Like they share so much that you wonder, like, wait, if this is all that is happening behind closed doors, why do you focus on just one tiny part, the sweet part, right? So, one of the reasons it is important for you to know why you should share your motherhood story, right? Because I believe knowing that reason is going to help you share more. I do not even think that a lot of women, like, I just like, I'm not going to share my story so that a younger woman will not survive. I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's the case. I think a lot of women mean well. They may feel like they don't want to discourage a younger woman from going into motherhood. So it's more like they just tell you, keep going, keep going. If you talk about any challenge, they say you are going to overcome it. But another challenge of not sharing the whole story is that when people go into motherhood unprepared, that is why you see a lot of people, they're having mental health issues as a mom, because a lot is happening in their life. They are broken. Many things are happening in their life that they don't even want to talk about. They secretly wish that somebody would have informed them, adequately informed them. And it's not as if, like, there's a difference between you never asked anybody anything, you never spoke with anyone about motherhood, and now you're a mom and it's hard, right? No, I'm talking about, you will ask a woman, so how is motherhood? She'll just tell you, oh my God, it's so sweet. I have my baby here. That's all that matters. When a woman says that's all that matters, there's so many things on that. Why not share that so that the person asking you can have a better picture of what they are going to be getting into next? All right. So, talking about some of the reasons why every woman should share her motherhood experience, right? It will be to help a younger person not to repeat your mistakes. Sometimes there are mistakes that you make going into motherhood. Maybe places you feel you did not prepare well, things you feel like, oh, I wouldn't have done it. And this is very important, especially for people who are going to be like first time moms, right? Sometimes if you're second time mom, third time mom, you already have a hang of it. You sort of know how to handle yourself. But people transitioning from a lady that doesn't have a child yet to someone who has a child, a new mom, right? Becoming a mom for the first time, it can really be hard, and they can benefit from your experience, right? Share your experience with these women so that they can succeed, so that they can avoid the mistakes that you made. All right. It's also a form of women supporting women. All right. Talking about, sometimes when you talk about women supporting women, our eyes can be fixed on, oh, that woman that is going to call you and give you a job and give you a partnership deal, right? But what we don't realize is that in our own personal lives, we already have stories that we can use to support other women. Sharing that story is a form of you supporting another woman out there. Now, I'll give you a very good example. This example have also influenced me. That's what I'm sharing. So, there was a time Michelle Obama went on. First of all, she wrote a book. Um, I think it was on her book Becoming. All right, Becoming. She wrote a book about her experience, but that also included her experience as a mom, especially as a young mom, right? And then I remember she went to opera, like she was on opera show, and she was sharing. One of the things she mentioned was that how when she and Barack Obama, both of them were in the White House, and they had two young daughters, how there was so much work in the house, blah 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 blah. Before you know it, Barack Obama is going to we pack his gym bag and go to the gym, and she was so furious, like, hey, of all these things that is happening in this house, How do you get the time to still go to the gym? She was feeling like he was leaving everything for her and everything. So she now mentioned that at the time they had to seek counseling. Think about it. Imagine sharing publicly that you and your husband had to seek counseling. It can look like a taboo, right? But it's good that she shared that, because sharing it make other women who are also, maybe they're having problems in their marriage, to think, okay, maybe we can check counseling, right? Or wow, so this is not happening to him. If the former president of United States be can be behaving like this, maybe my husband is not crazy. So there was a lot to take out from those stories that she shared. But most importantly, she mentioned that they seek counseling, and the counselor had told her that, you know what, instead of, you said gym is the challenge, right? And she was like, yeah. Okay, of course, I'm paraphrasing. And the counselor was like, okay, instead of trying to get Barack Obama not to go to the gym, can we think of how to get you to the gym too? So it's more like saying, instead of you say there's plenty work in this house, somebody else has the guts to be going to the gym. Can we rephrase it and say there's so much work in this house? If Barack can find time to go to the gym, I can find time to go to the gym. That, and she mentioned that sort of changed everything, because she now started going to the gym, and that really helped her, because going to the gym, exercising made her feel better, made her feel like she was not left out. But at best, she probably may have organized a time. Okay, Barack, you're going to stay with the babies, or there are even people to look after the babies, and I'm going to go to the gym this time. So it's like, eventually, Barack is getting what he needs, she is getting what she needs, and the family was able to move forward, right? Now, the point I'm trying to explain here is that Michelle Obama sharing that, I don't think anybody hearing that story is like, Michelle, so you too, now wow. Like, more like feeling like she's not a great woman because her husband had to seek counseling, right? Or she's not a great woman because she had mentioned that her two children were from IVF. Sharing those stories, you may think that uh, sharing those stories, you may think that people are going to shame you, but in reality, people appreciate it, because a lot of people are going through things they are not able to speak up. Now, I'm not necessarily talking about you going to opera show and sharing your story to the whole world, right? That may be that. I understand that for a lot of women watching this video right now, that's going to be a long shot, all right? That's going to be a long shot. But I'm talking about when you are talking to that your younger friend who maybe isn't married yet, who maybe hasn't given birth yet. Can you just be honest with them and share a balanced story? Not just how your child is a bundle of joy and that's all that matters, but the things you are going through and how you are also surviving, the mistakes you've made and how it can be corrected, the lessons you've learned and what they too can learn from it. That can really be um that can really be helpful. Is it worth it? Yes, it's worth it, because for every story you share with someone, let me tell you, true, the person may even judge you, right? Well, think about it. If they judge you, and so what? So, okay, the person has finished judging you inside their mind. How did that remove a hair strand from your hair? How did that make you smaller? How did that reduce your status? How did that reduce the amount of money in your bank account? So some of these things that we can put so much focus on, if you really think about it, it doesn't mean anything. So yes, you share it, and somebody is going to be like, I think she's struggling. No. When they finish saying that, guess what? The moment they become a mom too, they will appreciate you for their entire life. So they may judge you for few months, few years, just before they become a mom. But after they become a mom, they will appreciate you for their entire life, because they will be like, oh, when every other person said, it's just about it's just about bundle of joy, this woman told me the truth. This woman told me the hard part. This woman told me how to prepare. Do you get the point? Like, I've been in situations where before I gave birth, right, I was talking to someone and she had gone through a very difficult pregnancy, childbirth process, surgeries, many things, you know, in fact, many things. But by the time I called her, I was like, oh my God, how was it? Like, oh, beautiful. That was it. Like, that was Beautiful repeated several times. Beautiful repeated several times was the summary of the experience. How does that help so me that was that was trying to be a mom at that point? Do you get the point? It's like you talk, but you have not really helped anybody. And worse is not even true, right? Everything was not beautiful. Challenges, many of them going through. So the idea here is not about what has happened in the past, but is about how should we handle things going forward. As a woman, you're a mom, you've gone through some certain things. When you're talking with younger women, especially people who are not moms yet, do your best to share a balanced story with them, to help them prepare, to help them avoid the pitfalls you fell into or you were able to successfully avoid, and to help them succeed. It can be your own way of women helping women. All right. So, um, well, thank you very much for joining me in this session.